girl, let's call her Brave. And Brave is 17, and one morning she's at home, and before the sun comes up, she climbs out a window, and she runs away as fast as she can. She runs through the dark, and when she gets far enough away, she pulls out a phone. Now, Brave hasn't had much exposure to the outside world. She doesn't know her address, she can't spell her own name, she's standing in the middle of the road because she doesn't know you're supposed to use a sidewalk. Despite being a few blocks from home, Brave is completely lost. So Brave grew up with these crazy parents. We'll call them mother, and we'll just call him father. Now, mother and father, they have a bunch of kids, 13 total. And the kids, their whole lives, they've been imprisoned in the parents' house. They've barely ever been outside, they're not even allowed to look out the window, and just a lot of horrible things would go on in that house. Like, the kids are only allowed to eat once a day, and they're only allowed to bathe like maybe once a year. And much worse things went on that I won't even go into. And because of all that, some of the kids lacked basic knowledge of the world and had a limited vocabulary, because they just hadn't had much exposure. And when they get into trouble, their parents would chain them to the bed. So they spend all of their time trapped in this house, often chained to the bed. And this goes on for years. And one day, mother and father decide to give a deactivated cell phone to one of the older siblings, so they can call home and check up on him when they're out of town. And Brave, she steals that deactivated phone and hides it. And when no one's looking, she'll get on the Wi-Fi and she'll surf the internet, and she'll watch Justin Bieber videos, because she is fascinated by the outside world and she wants to be a part of it. And eventually, she makes secret social media accounts, and she'll sneak into the bathroom and make videos of herself singing, and then she'll post them to those secret accounts. Under a fake name, of course. But then, someone sees her videos and sends her a message. And this anonymous person asks why she only films indoors and at night. So she writes him back and explains her living situation to him. And this anonymous dude is like, that's not normal, maybe you should call the police. And this becomes a pivotal moment when Brave decides, okay, it's time for me to leave this place. So she gets that deactivated phone and she takes a bunch of pictures, documenting some of her siblings being chained to the bed. Then, one morning, before the sun is up, everyone's asleep. And she grabs the phone and a piece of mail that was mailed to her parents. And she climbs out a window and she runs away as fast as she can. And she runs through the dark, and when she gets far enough away, she pulls out the phone. And at this point, she's only a few blocks away from her house, but she is completely lost. Because remember, they're not allowed to go outside, they're not allowed to look out the window. She's never been to school, can't spell her own name. But what she does know how to do is call 911, which luckily you can still do on a deactivated phone. So she calls, and she struggles with this call because she's never really had a whole ass phone conversation before.
I just got away from home because I live in a family of 2 and we have abusing parents. Did you hear that?
So she makes the call, and eventually a deputy rolls up.
I live in a family of 15.
Okay.
My 2 little sisters right now are chained up.
They're chained up?
Yes.
Where are they chained up at?
On their bed.
And the deputy asks for proof, and then Brave shows him the photo she took on her phone. Now, she doesn't know her home address, but remember, she took that piece of mail, so she can tell police where her siblings are at, and they can go rescue them. An hour or so later, a bunch of officers pull up to the house, and they knock on her door. Now, because there might be a kid in danger inside the house, police don't need a warrant, so they just go right inside, and the place is disgusting. There's garbage everywhere, and it smells like get a Roomba or something, damn. And there, in the house, officers find Brave's other 12 siblings, and they're between the ages of 2 years old and 29 years old, and one of the youngest ones is chained to the bed. And they immediately arrest mother and father. Here's her mugshot, and here's his mugshot. Ugh. And they take all the kids into protective custody, and the younger siblings get separated into different foster homes, while the older siblings are placed in county guardianships. And after this, they all sort of struggle for the next few years. They couch surf at people's houses a lot. They don't really know how to get food or where to get food. They don't really know how to manage money. It's basic things. But from what I read, since then, they've gotten help, and they all seem to be doing better now. And Brave, she eventually gets on TikTok, and she is killing it, because her story went viral. So she's over here doing her little dance videos, and she's got over 1 million followers. And she apparently just signed with a top modeling agency, and she also parlayed this new internet fame into launching her own fashion brand called Braveness. Great name. And I went to her website to go buy a hoodie, and it looks like everything's sold out. Good for her. Shout out to California.